Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another Friday evening, Saturday morning for me, live stream here from Japan. I hope everyone's having a good end to their week. I'm starting my weekend off with you guys. How's everybody doing? You know, last week somebody made a comment about how I start every live stream with taking a sip of coffee. Today we're going to start the live stream with making a cup of coffee. I do find that it's interesting that there's such a correlation between coffee lovers and denim lovers. So you guys could rate my coffee making style and let me know what you guys think. And for the question of the day, how do you take your coffee? Let me know in the comments section below. So without any further ado, let's get to making this cup of coffee. We're going to be joined today by Carl. Hello, Carl. How's it going?
Hey man, what's up? Good
Welcome.
morning.
Good morning for me. Good evening for you. Welcome to the live stream.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
How's your day going?
It's going well, considering that it's a Friday here, and we have a good weekend planned. So yeah, I'm psyched.
Right. Well, I'm making coffee right now. So I'm you know what? I don't know if you're a coffee guy, but I like making my coffee every morning. Hand grind it. Got the Chemex and the Hario. So this is my coffee setup. Are you much of a coffee guy?
Yeah, 100%. But I'm not very good at making it. Like every time I try, it just turns out like sludge. So
Really?
I need like a primer or something. Yeah.
It's interesting. Like how do you make your coffee if it's turning out like sludge? What are you doing?
Well, no, I've tried like the French press. I've tried pour over. I've tried AeroPress, which I have like right here, as a matter of fact. And this is the one that seems to work the best for me,
Me
AeroPress.
too.
But
Got
yeah,
the AeroPress.
yeah, exactly. But I feel like I'm doing something wrong because it just never comes out as good as I hope it would. Like either I'm getting the water temperature wrong or like the grind is wrong. Something isn't right. I don't know what it is.
Right. Here's how I feel about all of that stuff because I see people getting on with the temperatures and the right ratio of water to grind and the grind coarseness. I throw it all out the window. I don't care. There's certain I find there's too many rules in that world. I have a friend who's like pretty like really into the coffee scene and every time I make coffee, he's like, "Oh, you're not doing it right," and I'm like, "Is there a right way?" I mean, I'm the one who's drinking it, and I'm the one who's liking it. So,
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, if you like it and you're still alive, you're doing it right.
right, yeah. So, anyway, I'm getting. See, I don't even measure the water anymore. I'm just like, yeah, it goes up to about there. Pour it into the thing, boil it, and when it sounds hot enough, pour it over. I'm sure.
But it sounds hot enough.
No, I'm serious. The kettle's got a sound when the water is hot enough. It's it's not
You're
screaming.
an artist, sir. You are absolutely an artist.
I'm an anarchist. I just go with the flow of things. All right.
It's the same thing with whiskey, though. Like, I've never had a whiskey that I've enjoyed, but it's because I feel like I haven't been properly introduced. Like, every time I've tried it, I'm like, that's good. Here, you keep that. It's like it's never been very good, but it's always been junk, too. So,
Right. I don't drink, but every now and then I like just we come across fancy bottles and things like that, and I don't know. Like I've never had a sip of alcohol before. So when it comes to like, I've been to some pretty fancy bars with Brandon, the owner of Naked Famous Denim, and he'll order something crazy, and he's like, "Take a smell of that," and I'm like, "Smells like Kate Tanner to me."
yeah. Honestly, you're probably better off, man. I mean, really, like, the best times of my life have never been because of alcohol. A lot of times they're with people who are enjoying it, but it's like, that's not the main reason that it's a good time.
Right. It's the company you keep, that's for sure. But I mean, I drink too much. I've cut down the amount of soda that I drink, but I make my own soda now. So maybe that's a problem. Like, I do know how much sugar is in the things that I drink because I'm the one putting the sugar in it. And like, actually, I'm working on a batch of like cola syrup right now. So I'm letting that do its thing.
What do you have in there?
So
Like, is that rinds? Like lemon
yeah, so
peels and stuff?
that's lemon, that's cinnamon, some cardamom, some what else? We got some cane sugar. Uh, I think what else? I have there's a vanilla bean, and there's cumin in there. So
Oh my God.
I'll
The
send
Koch
you the
brothers are
recipe.
coming after you, man.
Yeah, it's not exactly the Coca-Cola recipe, but I mean, not even close. But it does make a pretty nice drink. When you mix it with some fizzy water. So
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm just waiting for my water to boil here. Still grinding away, and we'll start a pour over. So
very
yeah,
cool.
I don't know.
Dude, I
I,
think your kitchen, by the way, with the subway tile and that, what do they call that? Brooklyn pipe and stuff. It's a great
yeah,
look.
it's a pretty nice look here. We've got a lot of my apartment's very raw. You know, I've got concrete kind of everywhere. I don't have walls like the wall is the outside, so there's no insulation, and I've got single pane windows. So
And a lot of them too.
on a lot of them. So in the winter it gets pretty not toasty. It's the opposite of toasty in here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this was definitely an aesthetics over function kind of apartment. I love this place, but yeah, and luckily it doesn't get too cold in the winter, and I'm Canadian, so we're used to the cold. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, the single pane windows are. I don't know what I have to do something about it next winter. I gotta change. I gotta get some like blinds that go all the way to the ground and
Mm.
basically just cover the windows as much as possible. But in the summer, it's not so bad, except for when it gets really humid in Japan, which it was my first time experiencing a. Hopefully that grinding noise isn't too annoying, and I'm done. So, uh,
And I'm done.
and I'm done. Last year was my first uh, summer in Japan. I had come for holiday before, but that was like for not that long a time. But geez, it gets really humid here. When you see,
Oh,
I
really?
don't know if you pay attention too much to the raw denim fades that come out of like Thailand and Indonesia and Malaysia.
Yeah. They're usually pretty extreme. Yeah.
They're cheap because of the humidity. And
Uh,
like I mean, I've been to Thailand a lot because we do an event there called Denim Carnival, and some of the hottest, in fact, the hottest days I've ever experienced were in Thailand. And we were we were selling like heavyweight jeans. We've got a lineup around the corner of dudes
oh,
trying on jeans outdoors. This is an outdoor denim event, thousands of people. And just these kids are sweating, trying on heavyweight jeans and being like, thank you. And I'm like, I'm dying. I have like ice cubes like wrapped around my head. And I had heat stroke once there. It's amazing what they can endure. They are some of the most passionate denim fans in the world. I think I lost you there. Connection might be a little bit lost, but we'll get back to Carl hopefully. Raw denim apartment to match the raw denim. That's right, very raw. That's for sure.
oh my
Um,
God.
but okay, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to think. Base Ed can hear when the coffee is ready. The coffee is almost ready.
Oh,
The
yeah.
water is almost ready. But yeah, humidity is definitely a thing that you have to deal with raw denim. So actually, here's a good question. Maybe a lot. I'm sure most of the people watching know who you are, but for those folks who are like, who is this random dude? Why don't you introduce yourself? I might have lost him. Could not imagine wearing denim in that humidity. That's for sure. The humidity it makes it very difficult. I lost Carl there for a second. I'm sure he'll be back in a moment. So just hang on. But in the meantime, I've got my coffee is here. I've made a little bit of a dip in the center there, and then the water sounds just about right. Yeah, sure, it's good enough. And here we go. Let's make some coffee. So pour it in the center there. Put it around. Let that soak up for a minute. All right. Yeah. Japan humidity. It's a real. It's coming. Okay. Okay. Carl is back. But what I was saying about I don't know what I was saying, but about how to beat the heat in the summer. You want to wear lightweight, light color, or I think a great. We lost you there for a second.
And we're back. Yeah, sorry.
And we're back.
I had bad service.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was saying, like just ways to beat the heat in the summer. One, lightweight denim, light colored denim. You did a video on one of our light blue denims before, a very popular one. And also wide leg denim, I think works really well in the summer. Just giving you the ability to have like airflow and breeziness. I think that really helps you beat the heat. What are some of your tips on beating the summer heat?
Yeah, I agree. Like I've worked a lot of times outdoors in the heat, in the cold, through all the elements, in New England. So we always get everything. And you're absolutely right. It's like, you kind of get used to it, but yeah, the wider leg thing is really good just because you get some airflow. If you wear something that's slimmer, boy, it's constricting and it feels constricting, So, there's a lot of fabrics out there now, especially like ripstop, which are really nice, especially in the heat, But I mean, I've worn thick duck canvas because that's what you have to wear. If you're doing tree work or something,
right?
You have to wear it.
Right. You need, you have to balance the protection and comfort. That's for sure. I mean, I've not, aside from working in warehouses, I've not had to do too much physical work. I've tried to become handy over the last year. Have not become very handy.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, like I go out and buy power tools, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a man now, and I'm like, don't know how to use these.
Isn't it funny though how, I see a lot of stuff like in comments and just all over the place where there's this like stigma, people who think you have to live a certain lifestyle to dress a certain way, and it's like, that's not the case, man. Like, I don't care if you've never picked up a screwdriver. You could dress how you want.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't like that at all. It's like this gatekeeping.
I think it is so much less so nowadays. Maybe that's coming from a particular generation, because I know when I was growing up, maybe it was the same as you. The way you dressed, say at school, that was the kind of person you were. And it was very tied to like the music you were listening to, or the groups you hung out with, right? So you didn't really dress a different way if you weren't living that sort of maybe lifestyle. Otherwise, maybe people would call you a poser. And maybe some of that has carried over into, I mean, I think a lot of the folks within like workwear and raw denim and boots, there's a lot of younger people in there, but there's also people of like my generation and your generation. Like we're a little bit older than a lot of the newcomers to the world, and maybe some of that's coming from there.
Yeah, it could be, and you're right. It's like a signal. What tends to happen, it seems like, is different groups adopt different styles, and it's not for better or worse. I mean, workwear was big in the hip hop community for a long time.
Oh yeah,
like the West Coast guys were wearing oh god, I can't remember, Ben Davis.
And
Ben
the Davis
East Coast
slacks.
guys, East Coast guys were wearing Dickies and Carhartt and stuff, and it was warm. It keeps you protected. It lasts a long time. I mean, there's a lot of things to be said for it. So, whether it's co-opted by different groups or not, I think it's good all around. I mean, I really don't. It doesn't bother me one bit.
No, I agree. I mean, we used to do, when the world was the way it was, the good old days. When we would travel around a lot, we would go to, a lot of different countries, and we'd do these trade shows. And in Germany, we used to do a couple of different shows. Well, there was a show called Bread and Butter. There was a show called Capsule. There was a show called Seek. So we bounced around a couple different trade shows. And it was interesting because the dynamic of raw denim I found in Germany and in like that show brought a lot of like Scandinavian countries as well. So just the dynamic of the way raw denim was kind of adopted there versus say North America, Asia, France, like it felt really different. It felt like very quote unquote authentic. And I really, there was something about that kind of felt, as much as I can appreciate, the full on, denim Dan, denim tuxedo outfit, with the hat and the boots and everything that goes with it. There are some people in that raw denim community that would look at our brand and the way we are dressed, and they would see us wearing like sneakers, and that really offended them. Like
really?
Oh yeah, like I had conversations with buyers who were like, no, this isn't authentic enough. This he's like, and they would make straight up comments like, you wear sneakers. And I was like, I don't think you get it. Like, it's fine. Like, that's fine. Look, I love boots. You love boots, right? Yeah. We all love this look, but it's not the only way to do this.
No.
And so I was always like, okay, man, if you want to say goodbye to an entire group of people who want to come into this, right? You don't want to cater to these folks. Hey, man, it's your business. If you want to do that, great. That's fine for you. I'm sure it's going to work out really well. And you do that. But there is within our community, there is a certain odd type of gatekeeping out there. And I love shattering stereotypes around, raw denim and workwear and how it should be worn. Several live streams ago, I did a great video. I was rebutting somebody because they were talking about how stretch denim wasn't quote unquote authentic.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, okay, well then what is authentic? What makes denim authentic to you? And the arguments will come, well, 100% cotton, this and that. I'm like, okay, well then what weight? Because if you go back to early jeans, the workwear denim weight was like 8, 9, 10 ounces. They didn't have 12, 14, 15, 21 ounce denim. 21 ounce denim didn't show up until like the 2000s. Right. So for those people who would be in the world of like, oh, this is authentic denim, I'm like, 21 ounces is not quote unquote authentic. That is a modern invention. Stretch denim came out before heavyweight denim ever did. So
really, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, stretch denim's been around for a long time, and I've got some great books on vintage jeans, and you can see some of the blends that they were using to make denim jackets and things like that. Using in fact, I'll pull it out. It's a great book, and I think a lot of people should go out and get this book. There are two versions. There are two copies. So this is the Levi's vintage denim jacket book. It's made by a Japanese company, but I know it's available everywhere. And what's neat about this book is that it's just photos of jeans. So I mean, there's Japanese and English, so you can see all that stuff. But it's just, if you like denim porn, this is it.
Yeah, look at that.
So it goes through the history of Levi's. This one's only about denim jackets. They have another one that's about 5-pocket jeans. But you can see here like available sizes, even the prices for like how much they were selling by the dozen.
Oh, jeez.
So but within here, cotton, rayon, wool. So they were using all kinds of materials in denim and denim jackets long,
not everything was 100% cotton. There was a lot of, different materials used in these things. So, I was making the argument, well, if blended materials are, a niche, then what do you say to all of this stuff in our past, in our history? So I'm just trying to find pictures of tags.
Yeah, it's
But,
like why bother, worrying about being a historian or something like that? There's no point,
Oh, there's no point.
I mean, oh wow, so you are the perfect representation of what denim used to be, in its origin. I mean, so what? What do you want, an award? I mean, it's just who cares,
Right.
But I think it is though. People probably think they equate everything like clothing to the cars and the appliances of the day, which were heavyweight, industrial, especially compared to now. And so they probably think it's the same thing for denim. Oh, no, it was really thick stuff that was like really bomb-proof, just like my GE refrigerator.
Yeah.
And that's not the case, So it's like you can see where somebody would make that leap, though.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. And maybe there's just a feeling of like, I'm doing it right. And I think however way you wear your jeans is the right way to wear your jeans. If you're comfortable and you're wearing your jeans, then you're doing the right job.
Yep.
Speaking of doing things right, I watched a video of yours about the washing machine and the dryer.
yeah, I screwed up a pair of denim there. Yeah, it looked horrible afterwards.
Yes and no.
You like it?
I don't mind it. I will admit that I'm very lazy when it comes to washing my clothes. Everything goes in the washing machine. Everything goes in the dryer.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had a few oopsies in my life, and perhaps I'm careless because I don't have to pay for a lot of the clothes that I wear. So, that's one thing. But I've thrown in many a jean in the washing machine, then in the dryer, and then you get those weird kind of, I call them streaks. I call them like spider veins, spider web. It looks a little weird. But I did it recently to a pair of jeans. In fact, the jeans I'm wearing right now, and I really just kind of like the way they came out. So there's a lot of like weird creasing and a lot of just random fades.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a spider web effect.
Yeah, right? Just like this, right? It's like a weird marbling effect.
Yeah.
And especially on this pair, I'm just really digging it because I'm wearing a pair of black jeans for the Indigo Invitational.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to mix things up a little bit. And I really like the way it turned out. So, I mean, I can understand, if this is your only pair of jeans, or not, maybe, your main pair and it came out like that and you're like, oh, what am I going to do now? Just keep wearing them or keep washing them. Did you end up continuing to wash that jean?
Yeah. And you know what? You're right. That's the thing. Like, yours are pretty well spread over the entire pair. With that pair, like one leg was extremely marbled and the other one was sort of the same. So it just looked like a mistake, Right. Actually, there was a guy in front of me. We start this thing, my family and I, like in the summer, where every weekend we go and try to find like another local ice cream place because there's a lot of dairy farms around here. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of little local ice cream places. So we go there, the kids get ice cream, and sometimes I do too. I was in front of a guy, and he had these jeans on. You could tell that he didn't know what he was doing, and he put them in the wash, and they were super streaked. I mean, creases going down and stuff like that. And I remember I was looking at him, I was like, that kind of looks kind of neat because it was all over. So it looks intentional, So
sure.
whether they're ruined or not, it's it's entirely up to you. But
just keep wearing them. That's what I say.
Absolutely, yeah. It's no reason to throw them away. They're fine, and that was intentional. I did that to that pair to make a point, kind of to show what would happen. That was sort of the thing.
Yeah, that's a good educational tool. I mean, I'm certainly going to forward that video to more people because some people, rightfully so, are afraid of the dryer. It is a mystery chamber. What goes? If it goes in, you're not sure I've thrown jeans in there by themselves. They came out fine. I've thrown jeans in there. They come out, marbling. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a roll of the dice every time. But if you're cool with that, go for it. I think that's the main lesson there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just when it comes to all the rules and everything in raw denim, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I love about Naked and Famous, though, is like it's a lighthearted, in my opinion, and maybe I'm totally wrong,
Mhm.
but it seems to be a lighthearted, like fun-loving way to enjoy this stuff. There's so many crazy things that you've tried, and so many different, it's like if you want the wildest thing, I mean, Capital with their really, really out there designs, but if you want something that's bonkers, that's the first place you go. And it's fun because it's like, here's a brand that doesn't take themselves too seriously. They're not, drinking tin cup whiskey because that's the thing to do at the moment. That's the look du jour, but they're having fun with it. And I love that. I really do. And matter of fact, even the bands that I like the most are the ones that don't take themselves seriously, but they have the goods, like that resonates with me. And I think a lot of people feel that way too.
I think so. I mean, we've tried to create an environment that's fun, that's inviting and welcoming. And yeah, I mean, the fact that we don't actually we're serious in a way, but we're also serious in not being serious. I mean, if that makes sense to you. Like I said it, I think in maybe the last live stream, and it was basically like, when we're making stuff, we're like, we don't have a customer in mind often. It's just, we make whatever we feel like making because we think it's cool. And we're mostly just trying to impress ourselves. And obviously we're taking you guys for a ride with us. But when you've got someone who like us who are just like fabric nerds and are always impressed by like trying to make something different and new and something that you've not seen before or unconventional, that's a good way to approach this thing. Just going back to authenticity, I that was another thing that kind of scared off some of our some retailers in Europe, and some of the criticisms they gave us, and they were like, just stretch denim. Ugh. I'm like, whoa, like chill out, man. Or like they're looking at like a colored weft jean that we're making, and like this is not denim. I'm like, no, it literally is denim. I can assure you.
It's a twill weave, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite comebacks for anyone who says anything. They're like, this isn't real denim. I'm like, no, it's not a hologram. Like this is actually here. It exists in the world. It is now denim. Like,
you
so
you
can't
and you open it, and it just says "Gotcha." There's nothing in there.
the Emperor's New Clothes jeans.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think the most challenging thing that you've worked on to this point has been? Because there's been some crazy stuff.
The 40 ounce.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you have to have special needles, special machines, right? I mean, just
we bought it. So the mill they basically told me not to tell anyone how the denim is woven because it is. They invested in some secret technology to make the fabric. And even when we were going to see it being woven, they could get like 1 meter of fabric before the machine would shut down. Like they're just like, this machine is not, it's not going to do this. And so you get 1 meter of the fabric, and then it would have to run for a little bit, and like the next like 2 meters are like messed up, and then you get another 1.5 meters out of it. So it was just a terrible situation for them because they're trying to make this work, and it's like they've got like their 2 best guys on this machine all day trying to make 50 meters of fabric. And so the weaving was difficult. It took years to get them to even attempt it. Interesting story. I don't know if I've ever said this story before, but there was so we made the 32 ounce, and after the 32 ounce, that was the king for a long time. And here and there you'd get like a 32.5 ounce or a 33 ounce. Somebody's trying to pull a little bit of extra. And then this one mill from, I think it was India, made a 38-ounce denim. And so I saw this news. It was in the industry news. I don't think it didn't really make mainstream news or anything like that. So, and I'm like, bull. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. And so I was talking to, we were in Japan, and I was talking to our fabric supplier here, and one of like our guy was like, yeah, I was at the trade show where they showed it off, and nobody could touch it. So they had it on display, but you couldn't touch it. It was there, and it was like you couldn't get too close. And I'm like, okay, that led to my skepticism of it.
Yeah.
Right. And then I found out who sewed the jeans, and it happened to be a buddy of mine. And he was like, no, it's the real deal. And I'm like, okay, interesting. And I went to his studio, and he's like, I got the fabric right here. He's like, I have a little bit of it left. And I'm like, do you mind if I like have a little bit of this? And he's like, sure. So he gives me a little piece, and I weigh it out, and lo and behold, it's 28 ounces. It was a weird double weave fabric. It wasn't like a typical denim, but I don't care. You know what? That still counts. To me, it counts. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, interesting. So they never made this fabric for production. It was only like, here's a concept denim that we made, and so okay, fine, fair enough. It was never a production style. Does that mean it's the heaviest in the world? Sure. I will even give that credit, right? We made the heaviest production denim in the world. We actually made production and put it out, but that is the heaviest denim in the world. Great. So we were like, we can't, I can't live like this, I can't not have that title. So we're like, okay, we've been talking to our mill about beating the 32 ounce for years, and they're just like, we can't. So we're like, look, we send the owner of the mill an email, and we're like, look, you guys are known for making the heaviest denim in the world. You're the most innovative, mill in the world. We're really pulling at their heartstrings right now. How could you let a mill from another country take your spot? This is Japanese denim needs to be the best, and you need to. So we're just like really pushing, like, Japanese denim is the best in the world. You're the best producer in the world. You should be making the heaviest denim in the world. We will buy every single meter that you make. No, I don't care what the price is. We need to do this. And we're like, you can't let them take your title. And he's like, we're on it. So even from that point, it took like a year and a half, I think, to get even a little bit of the fabric. And, I remember way back, even on our Instagram, we were at the mill, we saw it, and it was me, Brandon, my wife, Risa. We're in Okayama, Japan. We're in this little room, and our guy, he's like, we got something for you. We're like, okay, what do you got? He pulls it out, and he's like, 40 ounce. And we're just like, holy shit. Like, we're looking at this fabric, like, this is nuts. It's so heavy. It's so dense. It's so thick. And we're in that same meeting, we're looking at like elephant denim, which is like our 20 ounce stuff.
Right.
And we're like, this is double the weight of our elephant denim. And it makes our elephant denim look like lightweight denim, and it makes lightweight denim look like toilet paper. Like, it's just, it is so dense. And we're like, fantastic. And then, they show us, the machine, and, the guys working on it, and they're just like, oh, they're like, we fucking hate this thing. Like, it's so annoying having to work on this. And we're like, you're doing great work. This is, this people are gonna love this. And I teased it on our Instagram, and then the mill's like, oh God, so like we really have to do this now. I'm like, yes. The customers, they want it. So we took hold of fabric last summer. There wasn't much of it, like not much at all. Like they still to this day have not been able to do like consistent production on this fabric. So we pretty much have all the fabric that they've made, and there's some like we basically the rolls aren't completely perfect like a proper production denim would be. So we're cutting around as best as we can to like avoid like the trouble spots.
Yeah.
And we had to invest in a new sewing machine, which is like the size of a human. It was designed for sewing leather saddles. Like the beauty of it is that it sews perfectly, but it's a single needle machine. And for denim production, there's a bunch of different machines, and a lot of the machines are single operation type things. So we're not going to be able to make this jean on a production line. It's going to be our best sewer, our best sewers, making the jeans one by one, each operation by hand, single needle, like. So it's going to be a very, very difficult production. It's going to be the hardest denim we've ever that was ever achieved, to make.
Yeah.
With the most difficult sewing, like doing every single operation with one machine, it's not a simple task. There's no guides or things to make sure that everything's straight. So it's not going to be like a regular production looking jean. There's going to be some jankiness here and there, and that's just the way it's going to be. And if you want the absolute heaviest denim in the world, we're going to start pre-orders for that probably in, I'm going to say June, July. So there won't be many, and they're going to be like 4 digits in price. So,
wow.
Yeah, that was the hardest to make. There's been a couple of, there's been a lot of difficult things to produce. Sometimes your imagination runs wild, and you gotta make weird stuff. And
yeah.
But that was definitely the hardest jean that we ever made.
Especially when you have that same fabric folded over on itself, where it's several layers thick. It's got to be like incredible. Have you made one prototype pair of them?
Yes. So right now, Wizard of 32 ounce, who's in the chat right now, he's wearing a pair. He's wearing the pair that we made. Sample. Basically, we're testing them. He's wearing them for the Indigo Invitational also, and he's worn through 2 pairs of 32 ounce jeans. So he's stepped up to the 40 ounce, and they're holding up, no problem. We just wanted to work out any kinks that would potentially show up, and construction wise, no issues. We had one. Here's an interesting thing. Because the denim is so thick, there's no hardware like rivets and buttons and stuff that's made for this type of thing. Because when you're buying a button or a rivet, there's a depth for like how deep the button is.
Mm-hmm.
Like
show the shank of the button can only go through so much. Sure.
So like,
oddly enough, I have a couple of buttons right now.
Right. So this part here, right, it has to be particularly thick if you're going to get through a really heavyweight material.
Right.
This is a 20 ounce denim here, double the thickness of this. So, that has to, this accommodates the 20 ounce, no problem, but accommodating a 40 ounce, not so much. So when it comes to hardware, it wasn't like we could just go and buy, go to YKK or something and say, hey, we need this stuff. Like they don't make that. Yeah. So the hardware is custom made for us. We've got friends in Florida. There's a brand called Miansai. I'm not sure if you're too familiar with them, but they make jewelry, and we've known them through the industry for many years. Great friends of ours, and they're hand making all the buttons for us.
Really?
Yeah. So
this is going to be some. When you have a pair of these, it's going to be quite something. They're going to be a special piece.
They are going to be anyone who has them will be a very, very lucky person. There won't be many of them just because there isn't a lot of fabric to go around. And even then, like, I wonder, some people are going to buy them. They're going to keep them because that is that's a very limit. No one is going to beat that weight. And I know no one's going to beat that weight because of the way they're woven, right? Mm-hmm. This is not your standard, shuttle looms, right? This is something they've done things, and no one else is going to do that.
Yeah.
And so the only people who will beat that are them if they ever attempt to make it heavier. But even then, that, like, even 40 ounce is not a consistent production. Like, you cannot get it. Like, they're like, right now it's pretty much on the back burner for them. Like, whatever fabric we have, and like that might be it for this fabric. So
Wizard of 32 ounce has them. He's been wearing them.
Yes.
He just chimed in a little bit, but I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about what it's like to wear such a thing. I mean, that must be an experience. I don't know if you can type it up quick or not, but I would love to hear something about what it's like to actually wear those.
Garrett, if you're in here, let's hear your thoughts on it. Somebody wrote, did I miss a collab announcement with Carl and Naked Famous? This is the collab.
Yeah.
You're watching it. You're watching it right now. Hello from Mystic, Connecticut. That sounds like a fun place to live. Mystic, Connecticut.
Mystic. Yeah, right. Mystic is a very, like, quintessential New England coastal town. Sailboats and stuff. I mean,
right,
it's straight off a postcard. It's really cool though. They have a great aquarium, and there's a lot of, like, the seaport down there. It's a really great place to visit.
Right on. Like, I'm in Yokohama, and like we have the harbor and the bay here, and we were out there the other day, and, like, the military, that's where, like, they have their giant ships and stuff like that. So it's fun to see all these giant boats, and there's also a little bunch of small boats. So we're pretty close to the water here as well.
Mm. So
okay.
They make this 32 ounce feel like sweatpants. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So Garrett said, with the super thick patch, I have to wear them with suspenders. So one thing that we did for, I think is not going to, for production, we won't do this, but I thought it was just funny we wanted to make the thickest leather patch ever to go with it. And like, it's like an inch thick, the leather. It's like a bunch of like 12 ounce veg tan leather patches fused together.
Yeah. And
like, it's this thick. And so, and it had to be sewn on by hand. Like, the leather patch, we had to drill holes all around the edge, and then it had to be sewn on by hand. And we sewed it on by hand with sinew, which is like, it's like tendon from deer leg.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we have a craftsman who knows how to use that stuff properly, and elk sinew, Garrett says here. So,
wow,
it's an over the top jean that is not particularly practical, but it is the pinnacle of insanity, I think.
So it reminds me of almost like the Halo cars that some companies have, like. Ford has that GT, which nobody owns. You know what I mean? Maybe like Jay Leno owns it.
John Cena has one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You have these examples of what you can do, and that almost seems like what this is for you.
This is 100% that. This is like things like this, things like the King of Slub, the Emperor of Slub, the Lord of Nep. This is all like us just flexing our muscle. When some people might think, oh, make it glow on their jeans, oh, that's cute. Like anybody can do that. I'm like, no, they can't. Number one, but it's not just goofy ideas. Sometimes they're goofy ideas, but sometimes it's like, you know what, you want to see what our insane brain can do to, like, heavyweight denim to slubby denim to neppy, anything you can think of in like terms of, oh, that's heritage, or you know, takes a great, you know, real true understanding of denim. We can take that to the next level, and we've shown it, and I love doing that, you know, because every time there's been a heavyweight denim, we've always upped it. We've always pushed that, you know, when it comes to and not only do we do that, but we also do it at a great price. You know, there's one thing to say that, oh, I can make this, okay, and I'm not saying, look, the 40 ounce isn't affordable. I know that it's not affordable. That's unfortunately in another league, just because of the difficulty there. But like, you know, our elephant denim coming out at under $200. Okay, like how much more value can you pack into a pair of jeans than a super heavyweight slubby denim made in Canada, Japanese fabric, you know, veg tan leather patch, you know, all that good stuff for under $200. It's easy to do. I would say that it's easy to do it for double the price. Of course, it's easy to do that for double the price. Do it for our price. Then tell me.
Yeah, these things in any kind of quantity at all is a different story entirely. But and you know, that's again, you know, it's not like everything is wild and crazy. There's a lot of very wearable everyday stuff that looks dynamite. You know, like
left hand twirl, dirty fade. Like our core program is. I mean, look, you know, I think the analogy of the cars is really perfect, because, like, you know, you have your show pieces, you've got your, you know, enthusiast cars, and then you've got the classics that work. Like these are tried, tested, and true. And you know, if you need a workhorse, we've got the workhorse for you. If you want a show pony, we've got that for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff you guys go through, so much respect. Yes, total insanity, and I'm all for it. Thank you very much. Somebody's asking about the 40 ounce. Are they going to be still a pre-order only? Yes, and the reason why they're going to be pre-order only is because I want to make sure we get the right inseam for you, because you're not going to be able to hem these, and because there's so little. There's going to be so little available. I want to make sure that everyone who gets them can get them. You know, if we make a size run, maybe there's a size 28 just sitting around in limbo for a while, because nobody's a 28, but you know, we don't sell so many 28s. Or if you're a larger size, maybe we don't make that, and you would like to have that. So it's just one of those things. Yeah. All right. I'm just going through some of the comments here. What else do we got here? You know what? I had another couple of questions. Did I miss a collab announcement? Okay, I think I've caught up to all that stuff. Here's a good question for you. Oh, no. What are some lessons learned throughout your adventures in menswear and you know, leather and boots and denim and workwear and all that good stuff?
Oof. You got to do your homework. You know, like, unfortunately, I tend to be a pretty, you know, happy-go-lucky guy, and just really want to work with everybody who's like a cool hang. You know, like you and I started talking, it was like, you know, we're chatting, we're talking about like, how can I smuggle you some? Yeah, how can I smuggle you some snacks? You know, and like we're just BSing. You know, it's like if somebody's cool like that, then I'm just like, awesome. You know, so you know, how can we work together? You know, can I help you out? Can we start some sort of a working relationship? But there's been a time or two where that's kind of like bitten me, where I maybe misjudged character or something like that, and something really bad has gone down. And not naming any names, but. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe if I had dug a little bit deeper, I wouldn't have, you know, had egg on my face like that. And sometimes I guess that's just friendship in general, relationships. You know, not everything is as it seems on the face of it. But out of the personal side of it, though, into like, you know, the more menswear side, there seems to be almost a divide. There's a split between the brands which do it because they love it and they enjoy the craft of making what they make. But then there's a different side which really sees it as a marketing opportunity. The people who they can market to, who maybe can't tell the difference between the really good stuff and the stuff that just looks like the good stuff, which is at the same price or maybe even more. And I try to, try to avoid those companies too. And they're out there, the ones that just think, well, there's a, people make they equate price to quality. And so if this costs $300, then of course, right? Yeah, it's totally worth it, isn't it? And that's not the case either. And so sometimes, no, not sometimes, more often than not, I would say it's worth digging just a bit deeper, go and see what people are saying about a company, on, the forums or whatever, and just see what the general vibe is. You have to go past the surface because, marketing is what it is, but it pays to do your homework.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of those unfortunate lessons I think that we all go through at some point where it's like, okay, I see where this is going. But
yeah,
that's quite interesting. Equating price and quality is one of those things that I've one of my true missions in life to try and like dispel, because there's so much that people don't understand that goes into, especially in our world, in like boots and leather and just craft made goods. And sometimes I'll see, one of the things that I see often, and this one gets misconstrued a lot, is limited edition 86 pairs of jeans. And it's like, yeah, see, there's a difference between like limited edition because you can only make 86 pairs of jeans because that's how many, or there's limited edition because you only want to sell 86 pairs of jeans, right? So a lot of people use that. I'm like, 86 pairs is like 2 or 3 rolls of denim. Like, in all it means is you didn't buy a lot of fabric, and it's not like you. To be fair, like if you're, it's just not like being honest with your customers. Like, so there's things like that, and then there's also just scale of production.
Before you go on, I just want to interject, if I may. Matter of fact, there was a menswear company that I was actually friends with the guys who worked there, and what they would do with that whole idea, because it's perfect with what you just said. I didn't want to forget it. And what they would do is they would take the surplus from these larger companies that they didn't use, and if it was 1 or 2 rolls of fabric or whatever, and they repackage that as we make these small batch fabrics, like we only have this much, very, very limited edition. No, you're taking, and I don't expect you to say that you're taking the surplus from other companies. I understand how that could be seen, but like, don't dress up the pig too much.
Right. In fact, I would say that it's perfectly honest to say, hey, you know what we're doing? We're taking the extras of great fabric, right? Fabric that wasn't used, and we're offering it to you at a great price.
Yeah.
Customers aren't going to be like, oh, like, you don't realize that in the production, it's just like, it happens. Sometimes you order X amount of fabric, you send to production, and then maybe they don't do a cut all, and then you're left with like, 3 rolls of fabric, and it's like, oh, it's just annoying for me to have to go and like do another small run, because small runs are more expensive than bigger runs, and it's just like, whatever, I'd rather just job this fabric and sell it to like the local guy who buys all the extras, right? Like within every industry, there's always a guy or people who buy the extras of everything. Like, there are thrift shops in Montreal that buy like, we might have like B or C grade stuff that it's not sellable for consumer, but at the thrift shop, it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? So there are guys who come in and pick through our stuff, and they'll take it, and that way stuff doesn't just sit there or end up in the dump or anything like that. And we've got ways of using up the things that we're not using. So yeah, that's a little. That one's a little tricky.
Yeah, I agree. Or, what I would do if it was my company, I would just spin it as, sort of a green thing. we're taking this fabric, which may just sit or get thrown away or whatever, and we're putting it to use. And it's, you know, it's the same stuff you're getting from these higher price companies. Maybe take that approach rather than the way it came across was that it was custom developed in these small batches, like it was
Yeah.
you know, and then that just wasn't the case.
No. That's not fair. That's not fair. I don't think that's fair. But
No, I agree.
yeah. Here's a good question. What are your go-to boots right now? You're a boot guy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of boots. I actually these days I wear a lot of sandals. I have like a bajillion pairs of sandals right now. All leather sandals, by the way, like really nicely made sandals. And Garrett, who's the Wizard of 32 ounce over here, he's also a boot guy. So maybe if you guys want to compare some boot stories here.
Well, so I have a pretty big collection. My son's over here. He's playing around. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
good.
working. He says he's working. So I have a pretty good collection. So what I usually do is I kind of keep them in a closet, and actually my father-in-law is the same size as I am, so he gets a lot of my other pairs. But the ones that I wear all the time, I actually keep right here. And so I only have 4 pairs down here. There's 4 that I'm wearing a lot right now, and that's the Grant Stone brass boot. I wear these a ton. You know, they have that kind of like false mock toe kind of thing going on there, almost like an Alden Indy. My pair of John Lofgren Shinky Horsehide. This is a Standard and Strange collaboration.
Oh yeah,
that they did.
The good folks over there.
Yeah, it's called the Devil's Causeway, and then the third and the last is my beloved pair of nail shanks. And the guy who makes these is a one-man shop, just does everything by hand, and I mean they're just incredible. They're my favorite boots because they're just so rare. And when I talk to the guy, you know, you really have to, it just reminds me of like the old way of doing business. Like you have a conversation with the guy first, and you know, kind of make sure that you're somebody who he wants as a customer. And you know, we broke it down like per hour how long it takes him to make them and what he's charging. I'm like, dude, you're making like $18 an hour making these things, and he just loves it though. It's like it's a labor of love for him. So that's one of my most like prized possessions. I don't think I'll ever not have those in regular rotation.
Oh yeah. You know, my wife's a chain stitcher. She's been really getting into it, and you know, she wants to open like you know, a Etsy store or something like that. Doing some custom work. But right now she's still like just getting all of her practice in, and she's like, how much should I charge for like a bag or something like that? And I don't know, she might be asleep. Hold on. But
go wake
I'm
her
like,
up.
well, I'm just going to take one of her projects that she's working on. And so here she's working on this bag, and she's doing all this, you know, she's you know, the classic kind of, you know, plastic bag, but on a natural fabric. So, you know, each one of these, you know, she's doing all of this by hand, all hand operated, and then she's gonna fill it all in. And like just this, she did this yesterday. It took her almost 3 hours. And she's like, how much do I charge for this? I'm like, well, what's the minimum wage times your times your time? And like even then she's like, you know, I don't know if I can charge that much. I'm like, but that's what it costs. Like even if you took less than minimum wage, look, it's your time, it's your, you know, your free time or whatever, you can charge whatever you want. But it's like that's probably a good start of like what you should consider in terms of like, you know, how you should price this kind of stuff out, because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of scale, and even at minimum wage, it's like the skill involved is not a minimum wage job. You know what I mean? So I mean, the labor of love, you know, folks out there, they're not. It's labor of love. I mean, it's not. You know, the weird thing about the fashion industry is like, I don't know, we're not getting rich.
Yeah, and the margins are low. Everybody wants to do the best they can. It's a much easier game when you're talking fast fashion, because it's just pump these things out, and nobody thinks twice about how they're made. But I think that the silver lining in all of this, and whether it's denim or leather or whatever, is that people are choosing to buy better so that they can actually buy less and have a few things that are really, really good. And unfortunately, it seems to be very, very overwhelmingly men who do this. Women, the options just aren't there. I mean, I know Naked Famous offers women's cuts, but my wife and I were looking for some boots for her, and Red Wing has their like a few, but there's not nearly the options. So
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Check out Yucatan. They do women's boots. They're very, very nice. I'm a big Yucatan guy. Like, in fact, practically all of my boots are Yucatan. And you were saying this about, buying quality. Here and like buying it for life. And the weird thing I find about, because we're a little bit deeper into this than the average consumer, but we're in this buy it for life mentality, and we get all this really great stuff that will last us a long time, but we also tend to hoard it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Like, I have like the ridiculous amount of Yucatan sandals I own right now. I'm just gonna count right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5, 6, 7. Hold on, there's too many of them. And these are all like handmade in USA, like leather sandals. And I've just got a bajillion of them, and I just wear them all the time. And
yeah.
So,
but it's like anything that you like, you're never really satisfied with one thing. You always want to see what they have that's new and interesting. But at the same time, there's this kind of gluttonous feeling of having 40 pairs of boots that are supposed to last a lifetime each. And it feels like kind of wasteful. It's something that I haven't quite reconciled in my own head either. So
I do a lot of hand-me-downs or hand-me-ups, depends on how people feel about that. But since I moved to Japan, I don't have like a friend group here, and what I would do often is, like, anytime someone would come over to my house, I was just like, hey, you want like a bunch of shirts or
yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
like I got these shoes that I've never worn. Do you want them? And it's just like, they're looking at them like, these are expensive. Like, just, I got a lot. They're not being worn. Do you want them?
Yep.
So I'm good at that. You said your father or father-in-law, you're the same boot size. That's fantastic. Like my brother gets a lot of stuff, and I've got a lot of friends who are kind of in the same size range as me, or maybe there's. I've put on a little bit of weight in the last year, so a lot of stuff doesn't fit. So I'm very happy to, like, hey, do you want something?
Sure.
So,
and then maybe it's like a gateway drug for them. You then turn them onto something they maybe never would have bought for themselves, and now they're going, man, these are really nice. Maybe I'll check out this brand, or something. Maybe that was the thing that tipped the scales and got them into this whole hobby.
Yeah. I forget what the story is, but there is a correlation between, like, getting your first, like, thing of a certain level, and then, like, all the stuff around you kind of needs to
totally. Yeah, if you're into, like, because it makes you go, man, this wallet is really nice. Like, what else is there that's out there at this level? And then you just start looking, and oh boy, it can get expensive. It's
a dangerous path, but it's also fun. Like, I have a lot of hobbies, and I know personally that one thing I've always tried to avoid is action figure collecting. I'm a retro nostalgia nerd, and like I follow a lot of Instagrams, and I've got friends who are into this, and they're like, oh, this company's dropping this limited edition figure, and it's just like, oh God. Like,
do I open that door?
if I buy the one, I'm gonna buy them all, and then I have to go back and I have to find all the vintage ones, and I'm gonna start by buying all the loose figures, and then all the loose figures aren't gonna be enough for me. I'm gonna want them in the package, on the card, and I don't have any room for any of this stuff, and it's gonna be bad. Like, I was at a shop yesterday and I was looking at some Transformers, and there's this one Transformers figure that I've just been eyeing for months, and like they haven't sold it, and I'm just like, if I buy this thing, it's over. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start collecting Transformers after this. So
That's gonna be the Pandora's box for you. Well, listen,
yeah,
it's been a pleasure. The natives are getting a bit restless over here, so I've got to sign off. But it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for sharing your morning with me.
my pleasure. Thanks for joining us. And you know, we should do this again sometime. I'm sure everybody here enjoyed it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm sorry I didn't get to answer your questions if there were any directed towards me, but next time, or I'm around. Send me a message, whatever. I chat with everybody.
Yeah, and everybody, you should go and follow him on Instagram or on YouTube. That's where I found you. And let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, it's just Carl Murawski on Instagram or on YouTube. So I've tried to keep it simple. If you can spell a Polish last name, then you're in.
All right. Well, fantastic. Right. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend, and we will speak to you again soon.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you very much.
All right.
You too.
My pleasure. Later, bro. All right. How do I? There you go. All right. So you've just got me left. Thanks for everybody who stuck around, and thanks again to Carl for joining us on this live stream. I do enjoy having guests on. It's fun to have back and forth conversations with great folks from the raw denim, menswear, boots, world. So I'll try to line up some more guests for some other live streams going forward. So now we can get into I unfortunately I missed some of your questions. So if there's something I missed, please ask again. And I've got a couple of previews lined up for today as well. So we're going to be looking at the denim jackets from Fall Winter 21. Hello from Mississauga. We're going to be looking at some denim jackets from Fall Winter 21. So we do have a couple of previews today that I'll get into in just a bit, but just to give you a little taste of what you're going to see today, we've got the King of Lords denim jacket. We've got the Okayama Spirit 5 denim jacket, the Vulgar 3 denim jacket, and the Elephant X denim jacket, as well as the MIJ 9 denim jacket. So we've got a couple of great options here for you today to look at. So hang on tight, and we will get through each one of those. 40-ounce jacket possible? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to do a jacket version of that. You should reach out to Poor Willie Way on IG and Tannery South too. Yeah, I don't know Poor Will Way. Poor Will Way on. I don't know him. Maybe that's worth reaching out to say a hello and an introduction. Tannery South. Yeah, absolutely. I can arrange that one. We spoke about it a little bit, but with Carl, it was I forget. I think I reached out to him. He might have sent me an email, and like it was not an exaggeration. The way we were just back and forth and having a chat with each other was like we had known each other for a long time, and there's so many great folks out there who've been so like kind and just immediate rapport built, and I do enjoy that about this community a lot. So for those people who I don't know, maybe you're watching this right now, if you want to have a chat, reach out to me. I'm pretty accessible, so it would be nice to have a chat with you guys. Okay, let me see here. Elephant 10 this year, will it be indigo or black? Do you know yet? Yes, we have the Elephant X coming out in Fall Winter 21. I'm going to be showing off the Elephant X jacket in just a few minutes, so stick around. I'm just going to be answering your questions for the next few minutes, and then we'll get into preview time. Okay, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit because I'm sure I missed some questions. A lot of love for Carl here in the comment section. If garments and products were priced appropriately according to the skilled labor, people will have a lot more. People would be a lot more choosy with their purchases. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah. I mean, we've decimated in North America, we've decimated we've really decimated our industry with factory work and things like that. And we are the final remaining denim sewing factory in Canada. We're the last ones. We have two factories, and we built those. We built one of them ourselves from scratch. The other one we acquired, and we're keeping it going. It's amazing that when I started at Naked and Famous Denim, which wasn't that long ago, 2010, there were still several big factories in Canada making jeans. And all it took was a couple of major denim retailers to pull out of their production in North America, move it somewhere else for those factories to shut down. I'm not even joking. It took one customer, which was the main customer of this factory. I'm not going to name names, but one customer who's one of the largest denim retailers in North America, in the world, they pulled out, and boom, overnight that was over for them. We acquired a lot of our machines from that closing, which enabled us to start our factory, which was a small factory. We started off with a very small factory within our office building, and we were doing, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20% of our production was done there. The rest of our production was still being outsourced. There were still factories in Canada that were doing jeans, but slowly they started closing. And, that was getting scary, because it was like, what are we going to do if this factory's closed? And they all did, So one of the factories, when it was down to like, the production within our own factory was growing, and then the rest of our production was at this other factory. We were like, well, we have no choice but to like really take control of our situation. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to make in Canada anymore. So we ended up buying that factory and kept it operating. And we're gonna keep made in Canada going, presumably forever. But thanks to your support, we're gonna be able to do that. But it's just so weird how making a pair of jeans in North America is just not that easy. You'd think it was easy. This is where jeans came from. It should be something that you'd be able to do, but it's not so simple. And it's a terrible shame. I mean, our jeans cost what they cost, and in terms of our world and what we do, they are well priced. But just some food for thought. That is like what we charge for a pair of jeans is what a pair of jeans should really cost. Like, if you're using good materials and the proper working environments and all that stuff, and contrast that, like our jeans in Canada are in the low 200, high 100s, low 200 marks, starting around there. In American dollars is like 100, and I think our jeans start at $140, something like that. But most of our jeans are like 150, 180, something like that. It's a lot of money. It's not a small amount of money, and I don't know. If everything cost that much, it would be a hard world, I think. I mean, everything would have to. I don't know. I'm getting into the economics of the world, but it is food for thought, right? It is just food for thought. Like what garments should cost versus what we're paying, and I always say this. Like, sometimes I watch these commercials on TV for like these big denim chains advertising jeans for like $14.99 or $19.99. They've got the commercial with a celebrity, with a cast and crew on that big production, cameraman, lights, set, everything. Okay. Then they had to make the commercial. They had to spend money to get the commercial played on television. That's not cheap. I'm sure there's a billion magazine ads that go along with that. like just the cost of that, and there's still margin in a $15 or $20 jean, probably a high margin, and you've got the money to do all that stuff. Like, I know you're selling a lot of units, but somebody's getting screwed here. Like, I can't even sew a jean for the price of what these people charge for a finished product. And if that doesn't make you think, like, there's something wrong, there's something off here about that. Will Tate and Yoko switch to Canadian dollar now that Naked and Famous Denim NYC exists? Would be nice to save the 5% conversion fee when ordering domestically. The problem with Tate and Yoko's currency problem is the vast majority of our customers are in the US. And I know we're a Canadian company. The problem is our platform doesn't allow for multi-currency. It just doesn't let you. Nobody does. So there are ways around it with like website mirroring and things like that, but just the operation of that is it's just above our pay grade. So if we switch Tate and Yoko over to Canadian dollars, then what happens is the vast majority of our customers they're going to get conversion fees. And it's just like, I understand it's kind of, it's annoying for our Canadian customers. We do offer a cheaper shipping rate for you guys, where we hope that makes up for some of that. Yeah, I understand, and I've looked into solutions, and I consistently look into solutions for this. And I hope that one day we're going to be able to get there. I mean, I've talked to our platform people a bajillion times about this. So I'm aware. One thing that you can do is Sezzle. So we offer a multi-pay option on our website called Sezzle. You can actually check out in Canadian dollars using Sezzle. So you won't have to pay the conversion fee, and you will get a multi-pay option with no interest. So that's pretty good as well. I used to get back-to-school jeans from some company for $10 and flip-flops for $1. Look, man, I understand the need for inexpensive and affordable clothing. Look, man, we're not all going to buy $200 jeans. That's we're in a those of us who can do that are privileged to be able to do that. I came from that world. The idea of spending, geez, man, I don't want to get into it, but it's not having the money to buy the things that you want to buy is the reality for a very large, population of people. So I'm not going to rag on inexpensive clothing, because I know that there is also a need for inexpensive clothing. It's just, we have to find a way to make clothes that last long, that are affordable. There's a lot of things in there where everyone's getting a fair shake. Could you restart the live stream so the quality of the video and audio improve? Last time, I'll ask. I don't want to be annoying. Is the quality not good? Hold on a second. I might do that for you guys. Okay. Because I remember last time I did a video with somebody else on, and then the quality of the audio was not great. So somebody's saying it looks good to them. How is the audio? Guys, let me know. Just leave a couple of comments here. If the audio is not great, let me know. Seems normal to me. Fine here, fine here. Everyone's saying it's okay. So it's buffering a bit, a little choppy, but not terrible. Good in DC. Fine here. Okay. Well, it sounds like it's okay. So I'm not going to cut the stream, but if later on I discover that it's not great, I will try to find a better way to do these, collaborated, that's a new word, collaborated live streams. Okay. I don't know where I left off, but I left off somewhere. See, this is my brain doesn't work so good. I forget things fast. Video and audio quality are average. You've had both better and worse quality wise. No buffering at all for me. Okay, so it sounds like it's at the very least okay. So yeah, Matrix News. No update yet. That's a question that comes by every week. As soon as I've got the real good thumbs up, I will give you some updates on that one. When the quality and craftsmanship is A+, why complain about the price? I don't mind paying that much. That's true. Like, if you can pay for it, then I think it's definitely worth it. At the same time, I think that there are a lot of great ways that you can get that quality of product at a better price. I love thrift shopping. I love doing that kind of stuff. So there are ways. I mean, if you know what you're looking for, you're going to be able to find some really, really great stuff without having to pay premium dollar for it. That's for sure. You don't always get the choice. You get to pick from what you have, but there are ways around it. I mean, thrift shopping is one of my favorite things to do. I go relatively often. It's not as fun here in Japan, I'll tell you that much. We don't have, as far as I know, there isn't like a Goodwill or like a Salvation Army or just other chains of thrift shops in that respect where you can find a pair of jeans for $5. Here, the thrift shopping is a little bit more interesting. I don't know. Let me put it to you. So there's a chain here called Book Off, and they sell everything. Like, there's a lot of different versions of Book Off, and mostly it's books and media, but some of them have clothes and furniture and things like that, and they will buy anything. So you can bring them a pile of clothes, and they'll give you something for it. Or they'll give you nothing for it and they'll take it from you. So at the very least, you can get rid of it. So because they pay for everything, they price everything kind of out accordingly. So you might be able to find a good vintage denim jacket, but they kind of know what it's worth. So you're not going to get it for $5. You're not going to get it for $8. You might get it for $40. You might get it for $200. So they know. For example, like my wife bought this Hermes tote bag there the other day. She's actually going to embroider this, so that's what she bought it for. But actual Hermes canvas tote bag, and I think she got it for like $50. So it's not like, if someone were to donate that at a Goodwill, maybe it would go unnoticed and you'd get it for a couple of dollars. But like they knew what they had, so it was like not dirt cheap, but it was, for what it was a decent price. So it's the way things are. But yeah, if you've got the eye for it, you can find some pretty good things at the thrift shop. And or if you're active on of deal hunting, we put out a lot of good deals. Our sales section's usually got some pretty good stuff. Or if you subscribe to our newsletter, we got the 24-hour special that goes out every week. So there's always something available. And if you're if you're not in the position to spend, X amount on your clothes, you can still find some pretty good deals on our stuff if you hunt around a little bit. I regret not buying a pair of Naked and Famous I found at a thrift shop that didn't fit. The regret is I could have passed them on to one of us here. Yeah, I mean, I'm as I go to the thrift store, I tend, even if it's, I buy a lot of things. Just because sometimes I'm like, I'm never going to wear this, but it looks cool, so I buy it. And then eventually it ends up, either in my collection or, I'll give it to a friend or something like that. Like, yeah, I give a lot of clothes away. Like if you're a friend of mine, you've probably got a bag of clothes from me at some point. I've been in the fashion industry for most of my life, and you just acquire clothes. That's just the way it is. So, and that stuff takes up room. You grow, you grow. It's not for you anymore. Whatever it is, you don't get to appreciate it. You don't get to wear it, so you've got to pass it on. Grailed app has a lot of Naked and Famous. eBay, yeah, those are some great options there as well. A lot of people ask me, somebody saying Grailed is a good app for older releases. Yes, there's styles that just sell out. We don't have them anymore. People are looking for them. Maybe they've discovered, one of our older releases. A newer fan of the brand might have discovered a newer release or an older release. Check out those apps. You're going to be able to find stuff there, or just hunt on those things. My first pair of Naked and Famous was from a thrift shop, and it took me down the rabbit hole. These things often do. A lot of my collections started through thrift store finds or like online marketplace finds. I always collected movies. I never felt like I was a movie collector, but like I would always buy movies. And then one day I got a deal on like somebody was unloading their Blu-ray collection for like $50, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go pick those up. And all of a sudden, like I had maybe a couple hundred, maybe a couple hundred Blu-rays already, and then my collection just overnight doubled, and I was like, wow, this is a thing. And I just started collecting Blu-rays like crazy after that. So, now I've got like 1,500 or so movies, and it has slowed down being here in Japan because in North America, I like the thrift shop. When I go thrift something, I can find Blu-rays for like $1 or $2 sometimes. Here, like you go to the secondhand stores for movies, and they're like $20 or $30 still. Like I don't understand how expensive Blu-rays are here. And DVDs are still very popular here, which is also weird. Vinted, somebody's saying there's an app called Vinted for European people. Got the Akuma, Houndstooth, and 26-ounce denim from there. Wow, those are some pretty awesome finds from one of those apps. Good for you. Okay, let's check out a couple of jackets. So there's a couple of things you guys have seen before. In terms of fabric, but let's take a look at them in denim jacket form. So we'll start off here with, you guys ever plan to do a pop-up in Okayama or maybe a supply shop there? If you don't already, it's nearby. I don't think we would do one in Okayama, just because I think it would be hard for a lot of people to get out there. I mean, we go to Okayama relatively often, and I think if we were ever going to do a pop-up here in Japan, it would be maybe in Tokyo or in Yokohama here, just because that's where the people are. It'd be nice to do something out there, but if you've ever been to Jean Street before, like even on a busy day, it's there's not a lot of folks around. I mean, we're talking countryside here in Japan, so I don't think we would get a lot of people who would make the trip all the way out there to check out the pop-up. So as much as I think it would be fun, you got to go where the people are going to be. I discovered the brand because a friend of mine found a pair of weird guys at a Buffalo Exchange in Philadelphia. Fantastic. See, like, there's a lot of different ways to get our product and to be introduced to the brand. So anyways, let's take a look at some Fall/Winter 21 previews, and we'll start with the King of Lords, which is right here. And last week, I showed off this fabric in jean form, showing it off here in denim jacket form. So this is our combination of the King of Slub yarn and the Lord of Nep yarn. So we've got a beautiful, super slubby denim. In fact, the slubbiest denim ever. Look at how thick those yarns are, combined with the neppiest denim ever. I mean, this jacket looks like it's been, like, if you've ever been in a snowstorm, this is it. And you take a look on the inside. So you've got this really beautiful knotted yarn that has a lot of texture here. Now, this jacket is rinse washed, so it will come, it is an unsanforized denim that will come rinse washed for production. The reason why we rinse wash this denim is because it is not, you cannot sanforize this denim. In the sanforization process, there's fire basically involved that singes the surface of the denim. That gets rid of the hairiness. It also heats up the fabric, helps with the shrinking process. And if you were to put this through that process, you would burn these neps pretty badly. I mean, you probably wouldn't burn them off, but they would get burned. So it would not look pretty. So this denim is unsanforizable. You cannot do it. But the problem there becomes the shrink rate on this denim because of the loose weave and the looseness of the yarns it's huge. It's like size up 3, size up 4. It would be impossible. So we can't sell you a garment like that. That would be it would be too much of a guessing game. So we rinse washed the garment so we can get the shrink out of it right away. You know, we grade the pattern so that we know how much it's going to shrink. So it comes out to the right garment size after everything is all said and done. So you get a rinse washed denim. There's still plenty of indigo in this garment. It's just not going to be it's still heavy. It's just not particularly rigid. It's still pretty rigid. I mean, it still holds its shape, but maybe not as much as a fully raw jacket would. But that is the King of Lords. This is coming out Fall/Winter 21. You'll notice the Selvedge ID here on the inside of the jacket as well, and then that. I think for production, that is going to be a thicker leather patch. That's not the right patch. Yeah, so this is coming out very soon. Price, let me double check. This one will not be inexpensive. This one is going to be very pricey. Sorry about that. I do apologize. I wish all of our prices could be low, but they are as low as they can be. I'll tell you that much. There's not a lot of, there's no fluff in our pricing. The price is pretty reflective of the cost of what it takes to make that. Hold on, I'm just double checking the price on that jacket here, and I will also let you know about the other one. So the King of Lords denim jacket, $540. So this one is a pricey one. Yeah, the fabric was, the King of Slub was unbelievably hard to make. The Lord of Nep was unbelievably hard to make. You mix them together, it makes just a nightmare scenario for price. So it is very, very expensive, and it is what it is. This is going to be, for the enthusiast. The jeans will be $428. So the most expensive jean of the season is the King of Lords. So There you have it. How's the texture compared to the Sakiori? I would compare it, but I don't have a Sakiori denim here to compare to. I will try to make a comparison at some point. Love my corduroy jacket from y'all. Thanks very much. I'm planning on doing some stretch corduroys for the fall, just like a small production. So I was just working on that the other day. So we had some fabric left over. Fabric left over from a denim jacket that we did a few seasons ago, and I'm just gonna make some cords with that. So it'll be available in the super weird and easy guide. So that we'll have a small injection of that in the fall. I like cords. I do enjoy cords. I want to make. Brandon's not going to let me do this, but maybe we'll see. I want to make brown flared corduroys. I just want. It just feels like such a 70s thing to do. So yeah. What clothes will they come in? Navy. So I have a dark navy, and let me tell you that corduroys, we've done them here and there throughout our history, and they've always done. People say they like them, and then when it comes to buying them, it's another story. So it's just one of those things where the demand doesn't seem to really come. So yeah, I want to make them. I just feel like the amount of customers who want to buy them just don't. They're not there to fulfill the production of them. Still got my trunks jacket. Wish I sized down, but trying to make it work. All right. Yeah. I mean, look. You know, as someone who's put on a lot of. Every week I talk about my weight. I'm sure it's annoying by now. I put on a lot of weight in the last while, and I have a less and less stuff that fits me. So believe me, I feel you. Okay, let's take a look next at the Okayama Spirit 5 jacket. This one's going to retail for $290. Okayama Spirit 5 denim jacket. Here you have it. Big slub. So just like the Okayama Spirit 4, this is a big slub sanforized denim. You know, in the past, we've done Okayama Spirits that were unsanforized. We're doing them sanforized just because it's a little bit easier for you guys to size with these, but we're still preserving that crazy amount of texture. You can see here just how beautiful and slubby this is. What we have in the Okayama Spirit 5 is, you know, a super dark denim indigo with a black weft. So black on the inside, indigo on the outside, and you can see that black shows through, you know, the twill lines here. So it makes a very, very dark, you know, it makes for a very, very dark garment. What's really nice about a black or a dark colored weft is that you get a beautiful contrast when the warp fades, because the warp is going to fade really, really bright blue, and then you'll have a black undertone showing through. So it'll make the garment look even more contrasty. You've got the black mil-spec non-reflective buttons, black leather patch, and on our denim jackets, if you don't know, we do these stealth pockets here on the side. So you know, right here in on the seam, oftentimes you'll see denim jackets with a welt pocket. I don't like the way that looks. I really like having this clean pocket here. This is something that a lot of customers asked us for because our denim jackets previously did not come with side pockets. It was one of the things that people complained about the most. It also increased the price by like $50. So our denim jackets are more expensive than they used to be because of that. But because we added those welt pockets, we were also able to add inside pockets. So you get that as well. The weight on the Okayama Spirit 5, let me double check here. 16 ounces. So pretty heavy. 16 ounce on the Okayama Spirit 5 at $290 retail. Is any of your denim designed to be tailored after you buy? Designed to be tailored is nothing is designed to be you know, other than being hemmed. But the thing about denim is once you own it, they're your jeans. do whatever you want with them. So if you want to make them more tapered, if you want to do anything, you want to, turn them into shorts, you want to add holes, go nuts. Your jeans are supposed to represent you, your lifestyle, the way you wear your jeans. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing whatever you want to your jeans. Stealth pockets and bucket pockets are the best. I do appreciate, like, on our denim jacket, so you'll see we've got the bucket pockets on the inside here and the stealth pockets on the outside there. So let's move on. We've got the Vulgar Selvedge 3. This one's a lot of fun. Now, can you talk Fall Winter 21? I am talking Fall Winter 21, my man. So this is another Fall Winter 21 item, Vulgar Selvedge 3. So our same 12.5-ounce short slub denim. This is the same base we used before, but if you missed out on the Vulgar 2, or you want to have a little bit more fun, these ones we kind of removed the sensor on this, and check this one out. This one is a lot of fun. You can read that for yourself. I just don't want to repeat that in case there's some, issues on the internet with saying nasty words. But that's what we got on the Vulgar Selvedge 3. A beautiful 12.5-ounce denim short slub. So you can see that it's got a nice streakiness to it. Not a lot of extreme texture to it though. And you've got this little bit of nep detail here on the inside. After you show the jackets, any new flannels like last year's amazing triple twist ones? I can show the flannels up next video. I just don't have that all like lined up and ready for right now. Like my samples are kind of like they're in boxes, so it'll not so accessible. So yeah, this is the Vulgar Selvedge 3. Sorry, let me just switch this around again. See if I can. I'm not going to be able to put this on well with one hand. Gotta adjust my shirt and stuff, but whatever. You can get the idea here. We've got a nice to-the-waist denim jacket, nice pockets here on the side, and then the bucket pocket on the inside. And then, yeah, you can flip that out and flip someone off. With the way that we designed Vulgar Selvedge 3, it started off with, I always wanted to do something like, what's his name? That Little Nas X, he did those like satanic jeans. Well, I had an idea for doing something similar with the Vulgar Selvedge years ago, and just Brandon was not keen on it. I thought it would be funny to have, pentagrams and things like that on a pair of jeans. Anyway, we never did it. And, we've done a couple of Vulgars, and I was just thinking, like, maybe it's time to do something on the opposite scale of things. So before we landed with that idea, it was going to be like love and peace and like smiley faces and hearts and hippie signs and, and then I thought, peace sells, but who's buying? So we went completely on the other end of things, and I thought it was a lot more funny, actually. And I think people will react better to that as well. I think at some point we really need to do the love, peace, and, the hippie groovy stuff. I enjoy that stuff, don't get me wrong, but I also enjoy making people laugh, and I think that'll do it a little bit better. I still wanted to do the satanic stuff, but I don't know. Brandon probably never let me do it. And if we do it at this point, I feel like people are going to think we copied that sneaker that Little Nas X did, and I don't want to be in there. But I swear to you, I had that idea years ago. Not that it would have blown up like his sneaker did. That was I enjoyed it when that came out. I'm like that's a lot of fun, and I think it's pretty funny. But yeah, I wanted to do something crazy like that and find Just a big up on the story. I was like, oh man, we got to find some like local witchcraft group to do a spell on these jeans, and it would have been just fun to add to the story. But whatever. Um, uh, you should do the vulgar in different languages. Well, let me tell you, we are working on the Tate and Yoko Montreal exclusive edition jean, and it will be the vulgar in French. So we're going to use, and so the difference is in Quebec, we've got our own swear words that are unique to Quebec. Like they don't use these swear words in France. They don't use them in any other French country. In fact, when they hear them, they think it's really funny. They think it's kind of cute, or I don't, cute in a way that I don't think is flattering. You know, I would say that in France they don't look very highly on Quebec French. It is different. I prefer the Quebec French. Sorry to my French fans out there, but French Canadian. So we will have French Canadian swear words on the Montreal edition jean. It will be the pure French jean. There will be no English on this jean whatsoever. Zero. Pocket flasher, everything will be in French. Even the logo will be in French. It will be completely French. Yeah, so I think we will make the Office de la Langue Française very happy with that jean. So for those people who don't know, there is actually a language police in Quebec to make sure that everything is properly in French. So we will make them proud. Maybe we should get the government to buy some, and all their officers can wear that jean. That would be very funny. Where's the Super Guy recycled at? They're supposed to come out today. That's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm gonna have to double check what did happen with that. Sorry about that. If you were waiting on that. Geez, that's not good. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look into that. And maybe hit me up in the DM, or I will make an announcement. Okay. All right. So some French speakers here are throwing out their favorite French swear words. Believe me, they're going to make it on the jeans. I find it funny that French people fail the language test in Canada. Funny that French people fail the language test? What language test? I remember Pastagate. Yes, Pastagate was a serious thing in Quebec where Italian restaurants were not permitted to use the word pasta on their menus. Pâte alimentaire is it's a proper French way to describe Italian pasta. Satanic Selvedge. These jeans would hand dipped in blood of the innocent and blessed by a Satanist shaman. Sounds good to me. Better fading jeans, Elephant 9 or natural indigo Selvedge. That's very subjective. If you like very thick, high contrast fades, then the Elephant 9 natural indigo will give you more vintage style looking fades. Recycled fabric is very amazing in person. I'm glad you like it. Georges St. Pierre collab jeans. I don't know the guy. I would like to know the guy, but I don't know the guy. Best black jeans to get. Depends on you. We make a lot of different options. I like the solid black Selvedge. Personally, this is what I'm wearing right now, 100% cotton. Not particularly heavy. I think it's like 13.5 ounce. So, not the heaviest, not the lightest. I wear it all the time. I cut mine short. I wear them loose so that they're comfortable in all climate types. If you want something a little bit more comfortable, the Black Power Stretch is very popular for us. In fact, the Black Power Stretch is our #1 selling fabric. A lot of people don't realize that. #1 that we sell is Black Power Stretch. It's a great jean. It works for a lot of folks. So that's another great option. I don't think you'd be disappointed with that. The Bane Selvedge is black. Is solid. Yeah, the Bane's another great option if you want a slubby black. There's that. There's the black Cobra. So if you want stretch and selvage, you've got that as well. So we do a lot of black to make sure that we've got all of your bases covered. Someone's I don't know how to say your name. CVMERXN. If anyone wants the Weird Guy recycled selvage size 30, I bought them and they don't fit. I was impatient and waiting for the super guys. Cool. Anyways, if you're looking for a pair, hit them up. Which guy do you wear again? Super. I wear the easy guy mostly. Which jeans feel cool? Sorry, which jeans feel as soft and cool as left hand twill? The milk denim would feel even cooler. That's a great option. The milk is on the left and it has this like silky cool feeling on the inside. My slub monsters are fired. You got the James Dance slub monsters. What's the heaviest jean that will fade vintage style? That's kind of not a real. Here, if you want more vintage style fades, don't wear your jeans to the point where you're getting super high contrast on the creases. Get a little bit and then start washing them. Don't wash them like every wear, but wash them a little bit more often than you would normally wash, a pair of raw jeans, and then you will get more of an overall vintage looking fade. After a Frenchman from France failed Quebec's official French test, the province says it's working on adjusting its testing. Well, that's interesting. That's very funny. Matrix collab details, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. When I have more details to share, I will share them. Okay, next, we've got Elephant X. So this is indigo by gray for production. Oh, no, actually, you can see it here. We've got this kind of chromed out Selvedge ID. So I wanted to go like space gray with this one. So you've got like this space gray interior, chromed out Selvedge ID, dark indigo warp, and like I was saying with the Okayama Spirit, that darker tone weft makes it so that when the indigo here fades, it'll become really, really bright because the contrast will be so high. And so I'm very much looking forward to the way this fabric fades. And the sample didn't have the button put on, but the buttons are new. This is a new button that we did, new material, so it's a little bit more. We call it like a brushed steel. It's shiny and matte at the same time. So I don't know how to explain it better than that. Under some lights, it's matte. Under some light, it's a little bit shiny, but you can see it here. That is a new metal type that we're using for the buttons for this fabric. This is 19 ounces based on the Elephant 1 construction. So the Elephant 1, the Elephant 2 were very similar. The Elephant 1 was 19 ounces. The Elephant 2 was 20 ounces, 21 ounces. 21 ounces, I'm pretty sure. So this is a throwback to the first Elephant denim with the kind of a gray theme overall. I just got the Dark Knight Selvedge. I love the gray more than I thought I would. The yellow and gray is a perfect match to the 90s Batman colors. That's right. So yeah, the gray weft, I think it's really nice. Anyways, we're continuing with that idea onto the Elephant X. Sezzle's gonna have me buying the full Elephant X tuxedo. That's right. So with Sezzle, for those of you who don't know, we accept Sezzle. Sezzle is a payment, payment type you can use on Tate Yoko, Unbranded, and Naked Payments Denim NYC on the website. basically you sign up for it, and it gives you a certain amount of like credit that you can use, but it's not like credit like through a credit card. And you check out using them, and it'll split the payment up into 4 payments over 6 weeks. So if it just makes it a little bit more digestible. So instead of Sezzle then pays us, and then you pay Sezzle. So like, everyone's kind of taken care of. But if you have a larger purchase or something like that that you want to make, that you just want to make it a little bit easier on your budget, you can use Sezzle. So I like that, and they don't charge any interest to you guys. So it's not like a credit card in that respect. Which I wanted to have a different, like, I was looking at a bunch of different multi-pay options for the website, because I saw that it was becoming a little bit more popular. People were asking if we had things like that. So as I did my research through all the different providers for that service, there was like most of them charged interest. So I didn't like that. I like that Sezzle doesn't. So yeah, it's good for you guys, yeah. So anyway, if you wanna use that service, it's there. We also somebody said, is it crypto cash? It's not crypto cash. It's like basically somebody's paying for you, and then you pay them, and yeah, that's how it works. And I mean, we pay them to use that service, so that's how they make their money. So everyone's taken care of. They provide a service to you. We pay them to provide that service, and then you can take advantage of the service that they provide. Oh yeah, speaking of crypto cash, we do accept Bitcoin and Ethereum on Tatsu Yoko. I think, do we accept it on Naked in New York or anything like that? I don't think so. Tatsu Yoko, you can spend your crypto earnings and get yourself some jeans on our websites. So if you buy something, let me just show you how that works. I'll show you how both things work. So Sezzle. Oh, you know what? Here's the thing with Sezzle. If you're on our website and it doesn't show up as an option, it means it's not available in your location. And I'm in Japan, so it's not showing it. But it'll say like checkout with Sezzle, and then it'll give you like a breakdown of like how much it'll cost per payment. And then so if you let's just add that to cart, and then checkout. You can use where is it? That's weird. Oh yeah. After you fill out all this stuff, once you get the payment, it'll you can check out using Coinbase, and then you can check out and you can use Ethereum and Bitcoin on the website. Will Naked Famous ever make an NFT? No, we're not going to make any NFT. I don't. You know what? I'm very skeptical of that whole. I want to sell people things. I don't want to sell people not things or pictures of things. Look, man, if you're an artist and that's the thing you do, more power to you. But I don't know. I want to sell people stuff. Yeah. When will the next Suprema gene come back like the elephant ate? Somebody said to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. Hold versus denim. Tough choice. It's a tough choice. But anyway, it's an option for you now. So you have a choice. And there's no having a choice is better than no choice. So it's good to have the option. Okay, let's take a look at the final denim jacket of the season. This is the Elephant 9. Let me just double check the price for you guys before you ask me, because that question is going to come up. This one's another pricey one, $5.95. So this one's up there. I mean, kind of within our MIJ denim jacket kind of price point. Let's take a look. MIJ 9. Look at that denim. very hairy, as you can see. And what you're going to notice mostly is how streaky this denim is. So loose weave, not the loosest I've seen. Selvedge, of course. But what makes this denim special is this streakiness. Now, the way we're able to achieve this is by using two different batches of natural indigo dye. So as a result, you have a beautiful variation of indigo colors. Some are dark, some are light, some are in between. And the idea is that this kind of looks like a hand-dyed denim, or hand-dyed yarn. Denim made from hand-dyed yarns. Let me tell you why or how you can tell that it's not actually done with hand-dyed yarns, is because when you look at the yarn itself, here, let's try to get a good example, clear one at least. You can see that the streaks, they stay, like it's the same color along the same line. So the warp yarn here is the same color. Now, on a hand-dyed yarn, see that line goes all the way down? On a hand-dyed yarn, the way they dye it is they take the cotton yarn and they twist it into a bunch. It's called a hank. And they dip it into the vat of indigo. They pull it out, they let it dry. And they're doing this by hand. So they're pulling it out, they're wringing it, they're dipping it back in. But the yarns from the outside of the hank absorb different amounts of indigo than the yarns from the inside of the hank. So when you unravel it, you'll get a gradation of indigo hues throughout the yarn. So when you weave with that, you'll see along the same strand of warp on the fabric, you'll get a color gradation. This one, you don't get that gradation so much. So you'll get that streakiness that you would get, from a hand-dyed denim, but it's not quite exactly the same. I mean, this is, I would say, high-level denim knowledge. If someone were to show you this fabric and say, it's hand-dyed, you could turn around and be like, no, it's not. Actually, but it does have a similar look to it, and regardless, it is a very beautiful denim. You can see just how much detail there is in this fabric, ignoring the cat hair, of course. It doesn't come with free cat hair. The cats in my house provide that to the samples for free. Have you ever considered Dyneema jeans? Yes, we have. You can actually get the all conditions denim, which is available right now, and they contain Dyneema yarns. So yeah, that is the MIJ9. Other details you'll notice about the MIJ9 are our custom iron buttons. These buttons are all 100% iron. Iron on the cap, iron here in the middle, and iron on the back as well. All 100% iron. So just like the jeans will fade, or the denim will fade, the iron buttons will oxidize and rust over time. So everything about this denim is designed to age and wear. You got the maple leaf embroidery on the chest pocket, dual chest pockets on the front. You've got the side pockets here, the stealthy side pockets here on the side, as well as the bucket pockets on the inside. Selvedge ID along the inside of the jacket here. So that is the MIJ9. That is all of the denim jackets for the Fall/Winter 21 collection. And Fall/Winter 21 is coming sooner than it. I mean, all of these seasons, start creeping up on me real quick. I've already started talking to some retailers about Spring/Summer 22. We're still, shipping Spring/Summer 21. And releasing Spring/Summer 21. Anyway, I'm going to look into that recycled denim. I don't know why, what happened there. I'm going to have to double check on that. There's also Rick and Morty coming out very, very soon. So a lot of great releases happening this month. And then we're going to get into the summer. And we'll probably have some early Fall/Winter releases coming out, probably even as early as late July, August. So coming very soon. Can someone summarize the details of the MIJ9 again? made using 2 different kinds of natural indigo. So 2 different batches of natural indigo dye were used to make that denim, to get that streaky look. Price for the MIJ9 jeans, let me double check here for you. Again, this is going to be a little bit pricier than our regular collection. $376 on the MIJ9 jeans, $595 on the denim jacket. So yeah, 2 types of natural indigo dye. Yeah, so that's your MIJ9. Okay, picking up Pickle Rick and Portal. Can't wait. I can't wait to release them. All right, so guys, I'm gonna leave it at that for today. I'm gonna pass on snacks time because I don't have any snacks, and I should be watching snacks that I eat. But I did make some coffee with you guys earlier in the live stream. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in for another Saturday morning for me, Friday evening for most of you, probably live stream here on Instagram. If you're watching this on the replay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And the question of the day was, how do you take your coffee? Let me know. And thanks for hanging out. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will see. Oh yeah, Brown Fox comes out next week. So much stuff. Next week we'll have some snack time. Later, guys.